on ABC. You're watching KOMO TV4 in Seattle. Now, live at 6:30, KOMO News 4.
Take a look at this. Some parts of the country are enjoying unseasonably warm temperatures. It's about 80 degrees for these people on the beach in Florida.
But around here, pretty much the only sand you'll find is being loaded into trucks.
And that's in anticipation of this, new snow in the Puget Sound region.
Good evening, everyone. You are likely to see a few snowflakes falling within the next 6 hours.
Steve Poole has been tracking our chances of snow all day. He begins our Team 4 coverage with the newest forecast. Steve?
All right, Dan, we've updated the satellite imagery so you can really see this thing coming in on us here. We've got some cold air that's still left around from the last thing that came through here. You can see this next system moving in on the coast. This is bringing some moisture with it. Ordinarily, this would just be a plain rain situation, but because there's so much cold air still left around, we think at this point this is going to start off as snow and then turn to rain later in the day tomorrow. So it's not an Arctic Express. In fact, let's give you a time frame here. We're thinking mainly between around 11 at night and 6 tomorrow morning is when we could get the bulk of whatever we're going to get, and at this point we are thinking 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, although at your house it could be simply a trace. We've got to put a ballpark on this. And keep in mind, it's going to be fairly wet and mushy stuff because there's a lot of rain mixed in there with it. So I think overall the impact will be moderate, and I'll emphasize once again, Dan and Kathy, no Arctic Express here. We're not going to have this come through and then freeze everything and have ice cobblestones on the street for a week. This is kind of a one-shot deal. So we'll give you more information a little bit later on in the show, though, on what we expect the overall impact to be tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think that's just fine with a lot of folks, too. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you in a minute.
Steve's forecast is being taken very seriously by the people who work to keep the roads clear. They're looking at a very long night, and they're not the only ones. KOMO's Lynn Espinosa continues our Team 4 coverage with a look at what preparations are underway to help you get around in the snow.
Molly Lawless knows the drill. She works for the Seattle Engineering Department and knows early planning for snow is a great thing for safety's sake.
Absolutely. I've got kids. I worry about them in school, yeah.
Molly drives a drain cleaning truck most of the time, but when snow is in the forecast, she becomes part of a road clearing army, driving a sanding truck. The trucks all got full loads of sand today for what could be a busy day tomorrow.
We'll be bringing crews in tonight, and if the snow hasn't hit by, say, 3 or 4 in the morning, we'll be pre-positioning them so that we'll be out there on the street before the morning peak.
These trucks will be used mostly on arterials. Side roads could be tricky for you, and city officials say use buses if you can to get around.
It's too soon to say what effect the weather will have on Metro bus routes until the snow actually falls and the engineering department has a chance to do its job.
But Metro, too, has a big plan in place. Metro workers will go through a lot of trouble tonight, so you won't have to tomorrow.
We need a lot of time to chain up all the coaches, so that's our biggest challenge.
Buses may be running on emergency snow routes. This is a good time to pick up one of those Metro timetables you see at bus stops, stores, and libraries. It should have all you need to know. Road crews and transit officials all over Western Washington are operating on one principle tonight, and you should too. Be prepared. And remember, wherever you go and however you get there, go bundled up. Lynn Espinosa, KOMO News 4, Seattle.
They're pretty cute, aren't they? We'll continue tracking the progress of this storm throughout the night.
In fact, Steve will be back in about 15 minutes with more in his forecast. He will also be part of a special edition of KOMO's Morning Express tomorrow morning. It's starting an hour earlier than usual at 5 a.m., so you can get the latest traffic, school schedules, and other information you need to get through the day. A Western Washington teenager